I love In-N-Out Burger. Like, I love it. And it is nowhere near where I live. So I absolutely love remaking anything In-N-Out at home. Today, we are making another recipe from my new cookbook, Everyday Indulgence. We have got double animal style salt and pepper oven fries. Oh, look at her. This is so pretty. Got all the nutritional information at the bottom. So first we're going to make the sauce, AKA the spread. Really not too many ingredients. We have mayo, and you could use the mega mayo recipe from my cookbook, which is super high in omega-3s, if that wasn't obvious from the name. This is actually a double recipe of the spread, just in case. I feel like anytime you're making salad dressings or sauces that you really love, that you just like know you're gonna want more of, if you're already getting all those ingredients out and measuring them, you might as well just do double. Now we've got some ketchup, some relish, and I like dill relish. I just really hate sweet relish. Now we have some white vinegar, boop, and some sugar. I'm actually using a sugar-free ketchup because I like to control like the quality of ingredients that I buy. I happen to like this ketchup with no added sugar. It's like a better brand. So I prefer just like adding my own sugar, but you do you. And it would not be anything if it was not seasoned with salt. You can start small, you can always add, can't subtract. I added way too much white vinegar. I read tablespoon. It was supposed to be teaspoon. Okay, let's try that again. So good. Oh man, getting excited. All right, now it is time to make the classic grilled onions. So we're gonna start off with a little neutral oil. You can use olive oil if you'd like. The heat is not gonna get too high. I love to use, in some instances, when I feel appropriate, canola oil. Canola oil gets a lot of hate, conventional oil especially, but organic, expeller pressed or cold pressed canola oil. I use expeller pressed because it has a little bit better heat tolerance. It doesn't use the chemicals that normal conventionally made canola oil uses in the manufacturing process. And believe it or not, canola oil's actually got a really great omega-6 to 3 ratio and is really high in omega-3s. It's one of the top omega-3 oils aside from like flaxseed oil and chia seed oil. So canola oil, you don't have to use it if you don't want to, but I don't think people need to be as afraid of it as perhaps they are. All right, so we're going in with a bunch of yellow onions that I've diced. Add a nice pinch of salt. So these onions are actually super easy. So we want to let the onions sit to get nice and brown on the bottom. Once we've got a nice crust, we're gonna deglaze with a little bit of water, stir them up. That brownness on the bottom of the pan is just gonna kind of coat all of the onions, turning them a brown color. We'll repeat that 3 to 4 times until we have a nice like caramelized looking onion that takes way less time than a standard caramelized onion. All right, it's time for our first deglaze. We got some good color, a little char, which I actually kind of love. And you can see how the color like almost immediately changes. Once all the water is evaporated and the onions have had a chance to caramelize in the bottom of the pan again, it's time to move them around and add more water. Okay, these are looking so delicious and done in like less than 15 minutes, a fraction of the time it takes to cook caramelized onions, and they look just as beautiful. Oh, I mean, look at them. Yum! Okay, now it is time to prep our potatoes. We're using Yukon Gold potatoes today. I love these because they are super fluffy on the inside and they get nice and crispy on the outside. Also a really great potato for mashing. Also, you do not need to buy this special machine that only has one use, but I think it makes it so much easier and it's just really satisfying to use. You just put the potato in, and this is very sharp on the inside, by the way. The suction cup is not working. The leverage that's supposed to keep this side on the cutting board or whatever surface you're using is just not working. So this is usually much more satisfying. However, you do get these lovely, perfect little matchsticks with it. So if you find one that actually works, they're great. Highly recommend. Oh, not everything works the way you want it to all the time. Thank you for coming. So now that we have all of our potatoes cut to this beautiful 1/4 inch julienne, really the perfect thickness in my opinion, again, because they will stay nice and fluffy on the inside while being able to get crispy on the outside. So what we're gonna do now is we are going to cover all of these potatoes with super duper hot tap water. I'm gonna actually split this into 2 bowls since this one is pretty full, but just as hot as your tap water can get. We're gonna cover it with about 1 inch of water over the top and let it sit for about 15 minutes, and then I'll see you back here. Okay, now we have our potatoes. They've been soaking for 15 minutes. I just drained them. Now we are going to dry them thoroughly. We want them to be completely dry because that's how we're gonna get that really crispy potato. So I'm obviously using just a giant towel for this. I just feel like it works the best. It's a lot of potatoes. A clean towel, obviously. All right, now that our potatoes are really dry, I've got 2 sheet pans here that I have lined with parchment paper. You don't need to line them, but I just like the easier cleanup. We're just going to divide the potatoes between the 2 pans. All right, so we've got our potatoes divided in our 2 pans. Now we've got more canola oil. Again, you can use avocado oil, you can use olive oil, you can use whatever oil you'd like. I am just not afraid of canola oil, and this again is organic, expeller pressed, high in omega-3s, not the devil. Now I'm just going to arrange these so they're all in one layer. Kind of help it along by shaking the pan a bit. But we don't want them to be stacked on top of each other because that's going to prevent them from browning appropriately. And we want nice brown crispy potatoes. Alrighty, they are all separated. I am not gonna salt them until after they come out of the oven because that's going to draw moisture out of the potato, and we don't want any extra moisture out of the potato right now because we want extra crispiness. Once they come out, then we will season. Oh, don't they look beautiful? Okay, pretty much the last step here. We're just gonna brown up some beef, and kind of a classic ingredient for In-N-Out burgers, we're going to add some mustard to the mix. So the way I brown ground beef, I like to kind of keep it in larger chunks to get a lot of surface area touching the bottom of the pan so we can get a nice crust, a lot of caramelization. All right, so we've got some nice caramelization going on the first underside there. Now we're going to drizzle on. I'm so afraid it's gonna explode. Drizzle on some mustard. There's a blockage going on in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip these. Oh, look at the beautifulness. I just lower the heat a tad, and now we're going to break all this meat up. The mustard smells so good. While the meat is just finishing cooking, we're gonna go ahead and season with some salt. All right, so if we're able to get a little bit more caramelization on the meat, great. Just don't let it dry out. You want nice, juicy, caramelized meat. All right, I'm gonna go ahead, turn the heat off. This is looking pretty good. Potatoes are almost ready to come out of the oven, where we can just assemble our tray of deliciousness and then eat. Oh, that's the best part. Oh boy. Oh, look at how good they look. Looky, looky. Oh, yes. Accidentally set the sheet pan on top of the cheese. Not recommended. All right. All right, so I'm gonna combine all these fries. All right, now we're going to season. So, generous amount of salt while they're still hot. And a lot of pepper. I really like pepper. Shane really loves pepper. I love a salt and pepper chip. So why not a salt and pepper fry? A lot of pepper. All right, so we're just gonna gently, perhaps, toss these up. I'm gonna spread them out into an even layer. And guys, obviously, if you don't wanna go through the trouble of making your own fries, you don't have to. It's a really fun extra step. You control the ingredients that go in. But if you wanna get a frozen fry, bake them in the oven, and salt and pepper those, you can absolutely do that. Okay, so now we are going in with our beef. Just gonna sprinkle this evenly. Now we're going on with the cheese. I'm gonna add a little bit extra cheese. The recipe calls for about 5 slices, but we're going extra today because I made a little extra. Now we are just gonna dollop on our onions. Okay, so this is going back in the oven just for 3 to 5 minutes so the cheese can melt and everything can warm up a bit. Oh my goodness. And you know we still have the spread and we're covering it. Oh my goodness. I kind of pulled the cheese apart a little bit because we're gonna put the sauce down the center. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. And I made double, I think I told you before, of the sauce. Just gonna garnish with a little bit of fresh chives. You're so pretty. Isn't she beautiful? Oh my goodness. Oh. Okay guys, it's time. Oh, I like never drink soda, but it's so good right now. And just a reminder guys, this recipe is from my new cookbook, which is available at the link in my bio / profile / description / all the things. Double animal style salt and pepper oven fries. All the nutritional information is at the bottom. Ships out in like 2 weeks. So go ahead and order now. Right now. I got my forking lovey fork because I want to get in here. It's just an amazing combination. Burger and fries unite. Sorry I'm so quiet. I have been craving this so hard. Now I'm just sitting here in silence. Those onions are crazy good. The depth of flavor that you get from caramelizing them over and over and over again in such a short amount of time. And with the spread, guys, I love American cheese. I love it. I understand it's not like the least processed cheese or whatever, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't have its place. It's delicious. Step off of American cheese. I am like a flipping bottomless pit when I tell you that I can't stop eating. I mean, it's a real problem. I wake up starving. A few hours later, starving. It's like my body doesn't really know when it's full. So I just kind of keep eating. It's not good, guys, not good. I need to do a hard cut off here because I really could keep going. It's just... Alrighty guys, thank you so much for joining today. I hope you enjoyed this double animal style salt and pepper oven fries for my new cookbook, Everyday Indulgence. Again, you can purchase my cookbook at the link in my bio and in the description of the video. The recipe is included in there. Classic In-N-Out spread, classic In-N-Out griddled onions, their mustardy beef, and some obviously homemade oven fries, which are usually crispier, but two things. I ended up making 3 sheet pans worth because I bought extra potatoes, and it's really better to just do it with 2 trays of potatoes because then each tray has more time on the top rack, which is really when they get the most color without getting overdone. So I had 3 racks in, I kept rotating them, and then I ended up having to cook them for extra time on broil to get that color out of them. So that was my mistake. Plus, I kind of waited around a little while, you know, with all the extra stuff that I have to do for filming. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining today. I really appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to spend with me. Again, all the links are in the description of the video. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys next time.